welcome back. And as we step into a brand new financial year, it's the perfect time to reflect on your financial goals, reassess our investment strategies, and prepare for the opportunities and challenges ahead. Now, to help us navigate this transition with clarity and confidence, today we have with us Shweta Jain, founder of Investography. And in today's discussion, we'll explore key themes such as smart financial planning for the new financial year, optimizing investment, managing taxes and efficiently, looking at the changing in the market dynamics, whether you're a seasoned investor or a young professional or someone looking to take control of your finances. We'll have Shweta guide us on each and every aspect of this. Shweta, hi, good evening and welcome to the Money Show. Okay, so the right time to look at your investments and tax planning. You know, it's very important to align your investments with your financial goals. Talking about the new financial year, a very basic exercise that one really needs to do, and a lot of people can forget this also, is the selection of the tax regime that they want to. Because by default, is the new tax regime that's been selected, and if at all you are someone who don't want to be in that regime or don't prefer that, you need to change it. Shweta.
Yes. Hi, Kavita. Thank you for having me. Absolutely. I think 1st April, while being a Fool's Day, I think it would be smart of you to make sure that you're planning your taxes starting today while keeping in mind your goals and your personality.
Okay, selection of tax regime becomes crucial. Now, having said that, for all those people who want to opt for, the old tax regime or the new tax regime, I think in the budget we had a few announcements where there'll be more income in your hand. So, how does that go about? And it's all applicable now since from 1st April, Shweta?
Yes, it is applicable now, and it's the right time to choose between old or new regime. A lot of us find this difficult to make that choice, especially because we're not sure what we want to do. But I think a simple way to look at it is do you want more in your hand, or do you want to make sure that you get some advantages while saving taxes? Because in your new regime, you barely get any advantage when you're saving for your future, right? Be it life insurance, be it children's tuition. You're not going to get any deduction, so to speak. Of course, there's more in hand, so that is another advantage that you have. There is the standard deduction, which has been increased to 75,000. So up to 12 lakhs, you really don't have to pay any tax. You also have the additional NPS that is contributed from your employer's side, that is available to you. So I think this is something that especially employees in MNCs would really like to take advantage of, especially if their employers do offer this benefit. This does show that towards retirement, any savings would be helpful, especially through NPS.
Sure. So even the UPS comes into effect from 1st April. Now, what would be your recommendation, if one has to select from NPS or UPS, because now NPS subscribers can also opt for that. What should be the deciding criteria according to you?
So I think with an NPS, the advantage is that you already have seen and you do have the experience. You already have accounts in a lot of cases. So you do have that advantage that is there. So you can take advantage of that. It's familiarity. So while you're contemplating which to opt for, I think if you do have an NPS account, do continue with that. Remaining, you can take as the products do evolve, we take a call about it.
All right. With that, a lot of other changes also with respect to your TDS on fixed deposit RD has come up as far as the new financial year is concerned. And definitely a very important exercise is the right choice of the tax regime that you might want to opt for. Shweta, let's also move into our viewer queries now. I have Yash Shrimali from Mumbai on phone line with me. Yash, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, so you've got 10 mutual funds. I want to understand, are you putting 10,000 each or 1,000 in each?
10,000 each. Per
10,000
month.
each. Okay. Okay. And you want to be stay invested for how long?
Mostly next 10 to 15 years.
10 to 15 years. Can I make it 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you also would want to step it up by 5% every year. Any
Yeah.
specific reason why you selected 10 mutual funds? Yash, do I have you on the phone line? I think the line got cut. Okay, but then let's go ahead with this financial planning, Shweta. Over diversification, would you say that?
Definitely. And I think a lot of thematic exposure that he wants to take, I think it's
No, leave
the
it.
problem
Give
of
me another
plenty
caller.
here. I would recommend for 1 lakh rupees per month for him with a time horizon of 10 to 15 years. Four schemes are quite enough. I think as a core portfolio to start off with, it's fantastic. He sticks to one passive fund. So, for example, a DSP Nifty 50, 25,000 per month. For a mid cap, a Motilal Oswal mid cap fund, an ICICI blue chip fund, which will give him the much flavored blue chip as well, and abundant small cap. So I have made sure that he has some bit of each category in his thing in his portfolio. He could also add a PPFAS flexi cap if he wants to add that additional oomph to his portfolio. So 20,000 each in that case. I think it covers everything. He doesn't really need any thematic funds to add on to this. Also, with newer investors, it makes sure that there's a stable portfolio and not too much volatility.
Okay, I don't have Yash on the phone line with me, but then I hope he really gets this, and four schemes are enough for him. Would you want to call out those four schemes, Shweta?
Yeah, so DSP Nifty 50, Motilal Oswal mid cap, Bandhan small cap,
Okay,
and ICICI blue chip.
perfect. Okay, let's move on. Let's take Shashank's question. And he says that he's 34 years old and wants to have an SIP of 10,000 monthly in 4 to 5 funds. And he plans to invest for next 15 years time frame. I do not have him on the phone line. I am not sure about how well he understands the share market, but since he's a beginner and 10,000 monthly, so what kind of funds, and also can we start with 4 to 5 funds, or it is good to just have 2 funds? Although the amount is 10,000, he can clearly divide this into 4 funds. But then what do you recommend?
So I would start off with two funds are quite enough actually, one passive, one active. I've given him quite diversified portfolio. So there's a DSP Nifty 50 and there's a Kotak Emerging Equity, which pretty much covers the entire universe for a beginner investor. What happens is it's easy to add on more schemes. It's very difficult to cut on schemes. So as he grows his portfolio from 10,000 per month to additional amounts, he can add on more schemes at that point of time. But today, I think 2 schemes are quite enough. His question is also what would it amount to after, I think, 20, after 15 years? Close to 2 crores, I would say, if the rate of return I assume is 12%. I think close to 2 crores is something that he can target.
Very important for Shashank to also step it up his investment and also have the corpus that he wants to accumulate in mind. How does it really help if one can decide on the corpus beforehand, Shweta? Especially with long-term investors, they have time horizon of 15 years, 20 years. I can understand it can be difficult to really, come to that one particular figure, but how important it is to have like an approximate idea of how much you want to accumulate from this particular portfolio.
I think it's fantastic to have a goal, even if it's unrealistic, even if it's realistic, whatever the goal is, it helps you motivate to save more. Today, the problem is we do have the cash in hand, but we end up spending spending a lot of it on things that just catch our fancy at the moment, and forget about priorities or about rainy days, or if there's a job loss, anything, right? We don't think about the bad things, we just think about today, which while living happily for today create the problem of what happens if something goes wrong. So I think this target also acts as a sort of a when you put a location on your map, right? So you put a destination. So this acts as a destination, helps us save more and more towards this destination. And once you're closer to it, you feel that adrenaline, and you also get motivated to push that target higher because, like it or not, as our income grows, our lifestyle expenses, all of that grows, including aspirations. So these goals sort of help us keep up with our aspirations as well. So I think having a goal is fantastic.
Perfect. I also have Jitendra from Ghaziabad on the phone line with me. Jitendra, hi, good evening. Jitendra, hi, can you hear me? Jitendra? Jitendra, can you hear me? Okay, I think the line is cut. But then anyways, we have his question. Okay, so he started investing from Jan itself this year, 15 to 20 years time horizon. He's got Nippon Large Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Motilal Mid Cap, Edelweiss Mid Cap and Tata Small Cap. He's planning to create a second portfolio for his child with a 7 to 10 years time horizon. And for that, he's shortlisted few funds. He's got ICICI Pru Blue Chip, SBI Contra, HDFC Balance Advantage, Bandhan Small Cap. SIP plus lump sum in a few of them. He would want to know your recommendation on his fund selection and also for his son's portfolio that he's created. Shweta.
So I think in his portfolio, he can stick to 3 of the funds as the major ones. I would not recommend too many schemes. Since he's already invested in his, I would say, continue to build up, say, Nippon Large Cap, PPFAS Flexi, and Motilal Oswal Mid Cap. These 3 are quite enough for him. First child, he can do equity for a few years and then move to balance. There's no requirement to do balance funds today. He has said that he wants to do balanced funds as well. But I don't see the need today. So he could go with ICICI Blue Chip. He could do a DSP Nifty 50. I'm adding a passive fund since he doesn't have already. Bandhan Small Cap. So he could stick to the 3 schemes and divide between these 3. If he's really looking for one additional scheme so that, his 2 lakh portfolio that he wants to build is good, then he could add on the balanced advantage fund, but I don't really think there is a need to do that today. Maybe a couple of years later, he can add on to that.
All right, Shweta, I do have more questions for you, but then my time is up for this particular segment. Thank you so much for taking time out today and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries. And for our viewers, I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID to send across your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.